Across different parts of the world, people live in very different ways. In modern cities filled with technology, people live by schedules, alarms, and endless routines. But far from all of that, deep in the African rainforest, there are communities whose way of life has barely changed for hundreds or even thousands of years. They do not live according to man-made time, but according to the rhythm of nature. In the heart of the Kongo River Basin, the morning does not begin with the sound of vehicles or phone notifications. The day begins with the sounds of nature. Night insects slowly fall silent, replaced by birds singing to signal that the sun is about to rise. The morning air feels humid and smells of wet soil and forest leaves. The people wake up in their traditional houses called mangilu, small dome-shaped huts made from flexible branches and large layered leaves used as roofing. In the center of the settlement, a small fire that is never allowed to go out is rekindled for cooking and warmth. Thin smoke rises slowly through the morning mist and towering trees. There are no formal meetings to decide the day's activities. The elders and hunters simply talk casually to decide the direction of the hunt. Important decisions are made through simple conversations, not written rules. When the sun begins to appear through the gaps between giant trees, the men and young hunters head deeper into the forest. The Kongo forest is extremely dense and can feel like a frightening maze to outsiders. But for them, the forest is a home that gives life. Meanwhile, the women walk along forest paths while carrying babies wrapped in cloth. They gather wild tubers, forest fruits, and edible plants. Using pointed wooden sticks, they dig into the soil to find wild yams hidden underground. In another area, a group of hunters work together to set up long nets between thick bushes. Some people walk in a wide circle while shouting and hitting tree trunks to drive animals like small antelope or wild pigs toward the nets. Their teamwork is very coordinated even without many instructions. One of the most dangerous activities is collecting wild honey from beehives high up in the trees. A man climbs the tree without safety equipment, using only hanging roots and vines for support. He carries burning leaves to create smoke that calms the bees. After reaching the hive, he collects the honey and drops it to the ground below. When the honey is successfully collected, everyone cheers happily because honey is a very valuable food for them. In the late afternoon, activities return to the settlement. The women pound cassava and wrap it in leaves to be roasted in the fire. The meat from the hunt is cut into pieces and shared with everyone. In this community, there is no concept of who worked the hardest or who deserves the most. All food is shared equally. If a family does not get any food that day, other families will help feed them. They believe that one day they might also need help from others. This sharing system ensures that no one in the group goes hungry. Sometimes, if the hunting results are abundant, they bring some meat to traditional markets outside the forest to exchange for goods that are not available in the forest, such as bananas, nuts, and other staple foods. The system used is not money, but barter. When night falls, the forest becomes extremely dark. Without electricity or lamps, the campfire becomes the only source of light. This is when their social life becomes most alive. They sing using layered vocal techniques called polyphonic music, accompanied by drums made from animal skin. Music is an important part of their lives, not just entertainment but also tradition and cultural identity. These people do not store large amounts of food or goods. They do not have large warehouses or excessive supplies. They believe that as long as they protect the forest will continue to provide food for them. They often say that the forest is their refrigerator. Their philosophy is to take only what is needed and not more, because taking too much means stealing from the future of their children and grandchildren. For them, the forest is not only a place to live, but also a source of food, medicine, building materials, and cultural identity. Economically, they do not depend much on money because almost everything they need is available in nature. Socially, they live without rigid social classes. No one is considered higher or lower than others. Everyone is considered equal. Spiritually, they believe that the forest is a living entity that must be respected and protected. Their relationship with nature is reciprocal. If humans protect the forest will protect humans. For them, leaving the forest is not just moving to another place, but losing their identity, culture, and connection to their ancestors. Life in the forest is part of who they are. The life of the people in the Kongo rainforest reminds us that humans are actually part of nature, not rulers of nature. They hunt not to accumulate wealth, but to meet the needs of the day. They live by the principles of togetherness, simplicity, and balance with the environment. From their lives, we can learn that happiness does not always come from wealth, technology, or luxury. Happiness can come from feeling content, from togetherness, and from a harmonious relationship with nature and other people. In the end, the life of the Kongo forest communities shows that progress does not always mean a happier life. Sometimes, a simple life provides a peace that cannot be bought with anything. They live without much wealth, but they have togetherness, preserved nature, and gratitude for life. And perhaps that is where true wealth lies.